What's up, guys? This is Igor in Russia, and today we're going to have a special guest on our channel. As a foreigner, you have a lot of stereotypes and prejudice opinions and thoughts how you're perceived in Russia or how you are treated. But don't take my word for it. Today we're going to have a special a lawyer straight from Moscow, Russia.
My name is Michael, but Braiden is not my surname. This is our company name. It's Braiden Consulting law firm. My name is Michael. I'm head of international department.
Right now, there's a lot of news about visas, visa issuings, and especially, well, it depends on the country. Can you shortly, or in your own words, tell the kind of different variations about visas and what kind of maybe problems or specifics might include to that special visa, and which one you should take if you have the alternative to choose from tourist visa and maybe a business visa?
Yeah, so
and others.
First, I would say that both tourist visas and business visas are short-term stay visas, right? It depends on your citizenship for how long you can stay with let's say with a tourist visa, right? But I would say that the minimum term is 30 days, right, for the visa countries, and the maximum term is 90 days during 6 months, right? You can have double entries. A business visa is also a short-term visa, but of course you can get your visa, for example, for 1 year. But again, the inconvenience is that you can spend your 90 days with your business visa, then you have to exit Russia for 90 days, and only then you can come back and spend your second 90 days term. That's why it's not that convenient if your main goal is to basically live here in Russia, right? Thus, we should talk about long-term visas. These are student visas, work visas, and also private visas, like the so-called family visas. So, as I already told you about the student visa, it's a convenient way to
start your path.
To start your path, in Russia. Then work visas. We have two types of work visas. I would call the ordinary one, the normal one, issued for 1 year, and the second one is the 3-year highly qualified specialist visa. So the 1-year work visa is issued by the employer who is willing to hire you officially, right? So we as a law firm provide our services for the second type of visa, which is highly qualified specialist visa for 3 years. Because it's not that easy, actually. It's not that easy to issue such invitation. The advantage is that you'll just have your visa for 3 years. You can stay the whole 3 years period here in Russia. As a bonus, you can simultaneously bring all family members with you if you would like to do that. So, but if we compare these two types of work visas, I would say the first one, for the 1-year work visa, is more convenient in terms of getting residency, because there is a list of professions issued by the Ministry of Labor, right? By the way, this list will be renewed, I think, during October or November, right? So there's a list of certain positions. So let's say they have, if I'm not wrong, 10 positions for teaching positions. So if you are преподаватель or учитель, so basically a teacher, you can apply for a permanent residence permit issued forever. It's called VNJ in Russia. If you would have this position written in your contract, and this is very important, not like English teacher, but only a teacher, only учитель. If you work there for more than 6 months, you can apply for a permanent residence permit, skipping the stage of a temporary residence permit, so you could get a permanent residence permit forever.
Can you be Are you eligible for a business visa? I have my own visa right now, but in general, are you eligible for a visa if you're a YouTuber, which is a business, but based on that or that
No.
type of online work,
Unfortunately, no. So you have to have a work contract with the Russian employer, because one of the needed documents, right, is the tax reports and extract from the pension fund of Russia, because your employer pays taxes and contributions to the pension fund of Russia. So that's why, unfortunately, no. You have to have a work visa issued by a Russian company. And I just want to also mention that the HQS visa is very convenient to live here, and you can prolong this visa being in Russia, so you don't have to go to your home country, something like this. But in terms of residency, it's complicated. Basically, it's complicated because first you can only get it's still VNG, it's still passport-looking document, but it's limited to your duration of your visa. So that makes it's not.
It's like it's a visa without restrictions without the 90 days restrictions.
No. Again, with the HQS visa, you can live the whole 3-year period. Yeah. But if you decide to get the permanent residency, yes, it's possible. But you'll get, let's call it HQS VNG, HQS residence permit, but it's limited. So I don't think that it's a good idea to have a limited residence permit, because then you have to get a permanent residence permit eventually. Well, I would say it's just another topic for another video. But I would just if we're talking about the most like the easiest way to get a residency here, well, student visa, nice. 1-year work visa, working with the under certain position, also very good. And then, well, let's say if you have any type of visa and you got married to a Russian citizen, then that would be one of the legal grounds for the simplified procedures for getting temporary or permanent residence permit. Again, I've mentioned the quota, right? So quota is the general procedure, and we have certain legal grounds for a simplified procedure of getting the residency. For example, let's say you're a student, right? You met someone, right? You're in love. You got married, guys. Okay, perfect. That the marriage certificate is the legal ground to apply for a temporary residence permit.
But you have to live in Russia to have that temporary permit, right?
Yeah. Again, if it always depends on your final goal and your life expectations, right? What you want to do. If you want to stay in Russia, then the temporary residence permit it's issued for 3 years, and after 8 months of holding this temporary residence permit stamp in your passport, you can apply for a permanent residence permit issued forever. But yes, if when you get this temporary residence permit, you have to live in Russia at least 6 months.
And that means officially, right? Because in Russia, very often the landlords, very often people who live and pay rent, very often, to my knowledge, it's unofficial. Basically, you have maybe agreement between the person, but the government doesn't know you actually living in that address. So that's correct. So you have to live legally. So that the government.
That's right, because when you receive your temporary residence permit, basically it's a stamping in your passport. They also stamp there a visa for 3 years, so you could travel, and also they stamp your address of permanent registration.
Yeah.
So that's why this is a very important thing, because one of the popular problems that face foreign citizens, all of them, not only for the permanent registration, is the registration itself. Because, well, let me just, if we're talking about the problems, let me just tell you this particular problem, right? So let's say you arrive in Russia. You have 7 business days in order to get the registration. Registration is a white piece of paper which states your actual address of stay. Now, any hotel or hostel must, so they're obliged to register you when you check in, right? Also, you can get this registration with the owner, with the landlord of the apartment where you are going to stay. Here, it's my advice just to, before you sign a contract or agree with the landlord, just, talk with him or her about the registration, about the temporary one, which is the piece of paper, and if you would stay for a longer period, about a permanent registration. Again, it's just the name. It's not that. I'm very sorry.
No problem. And I'm doing all the drinking. I don't talk, but I just drink. Yeah, continue.
I just got sick a little bit. I hope that would not be an issue for our viewers. So the idea is that, yes, you have to agree with them because you will have to get the stamp in your passport. That might be a problem. So yeah, this is a very...
And landlords sometimes that don't want to do that because there's a historical reason why Russians don't want to deal with government, with the official, with the taxes, etc. Not focusing on this topic, but this is the background, the ideology, and foreigners. It makes all of it suspicious for them